Yo, it's rolling, and I might go 1, 2, 3.
I didn't hear the please.
Please.
Thank you. You see that? You see what he did there? He said please. What's going on, guys? You are tuned in to another episode of BBCAN Cribz. Cribz with a Z. Do I have to say that?
Yeah.
Cribz with a Z. I myself personally go by the name West Hype with a W and a H and a Y and a P and a E. To my left.
Once again, it's your boy, Sir Loudy, BBCAN's resident, what do I call myself? Resident fact checker, even though my facts aren't always accurate.
Yeah.
BBCAN's resident devil's advocate.
Yeah, sure.
And to my right, we got...
And to the far right, I go by the name of Godfrey. You know, my name's a little bit harder to spell, so I'm gonna. It has God in it, but anyways, I go by God.
These introductions need work.
They definitely need work.
The resident terrible introductions. That's
your job.
That's my role here.
You just do the terrible introductions.
I drag out the time so the podcast reaches an hour.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
All right. I don't know if we need that. We might have to let you go next week. What are we discussing this week, sir?
Before we even jump into that, people watching, we need you guys to like, share, and subscribe.
Oh, yeah.
The button should be like somewhere down here.
Yo, why are you giving me editing work, bro? I don't want to
Don't you mean follow?
Don't worry, man. It's a 1-2.
All right. Oh, no,
Yeah,
the actual
subscribe.
YouTube subscribe
Oh,
should be
okay,
there.
yeah. All right,
Subscribe to our
do that.
YouTube channel so that you're
Yeah.
up to date on all the episodes that we have coming up.
Follow us on Instagram at BBCAN Cribz with a Z. And Twitter. We have a Twitter?
Yeah.
We have a Twitter.
We have a very active Twitter, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's doing that? You? You're active on
Maybe
it?
someone.
Someone's
Who knows?
active on it?
Tweez
Who on the
it.
team is using the Twitter? Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
Someone's using Twitter.
Like somebody hacked on name, man.
We have bots. We have bots tweeting,
we have bots
for us. Also, if you guys are only tuning in for the first time, you can go back and watch episodes 1, 2, and 3 because they're really entertaining.
Absolutely.
Very entertaining.
Sounds
Unfortunately, I did want to bring a special guest on this week, but
Oh, who's that? Who's the special guest?
I don't
Name
want
names.
I don't want to say.
Is it
'cause-
Kyle?
No.
I was like, hey, you're quick, man. Yo, this guy.
Oh, that kind.
I arranged that fast.
Okay.
You arranged it quick.
No, I don't want to name names because I'm hoping
Yeah.
to have that person as a guest later on. So
Okay.
I
I think
wanted
I know
to
where
still
you're
be
going
a
with it.
surprise, you know?
Okay.
But unfortunately, we didn't have them on this weekend, and Jamar is on a break. I think he's getting his hair braided or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Shout out what's he call himself? The Ajax.
The gunman, the Ajax gunman.
No, he does not call himself that. No, he does not call. No, he does not.
wait,
call
that's
himself
Bus-
that.
oh,
That's what Bus calls him.
The gunman with no
He
license.
calls himself the Rob King.
The Rob
The Rob
King. There we
King.
go.
The
There we
Rob
go.
King.
Rob
And,
King from Ajax.
Yeah.
Shout
Oh,
out
and
to
then
Jamar.
it's he actually went to get the
Rob
slits cut back in his eyebrows.
Oh, okay.
That's what
I
it
guess
was.
the
RK.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he went to get the he had a hair appointment, an eyebrow appointment. to
Okay.
get the
Oh,
slits
yeah,
done.
yeah. Because he was missing kind of one. He usually has 3.
Yeah,
so,
he needs to get 3
I think he
in
went
there.
to get one of his eyebrows.
And the
done.
guy does it with like a razor, and like it takes a while. So he missed it.
Anyways.
He missed it.
Anyways.
That's
Shout
the
out-
story with
shout out
King
to
Jam.
him.
we got a lot to cover today, so let's just jump right in.
I said that already. You wanted to stop, bro. Let's go.
Trying to get the train back on the track, bro.
Okay.
So Monday that passed, Kiefer wins HOH and puts Rohan on slap again. What do we
I like your shirt, bro.
how do you? Oh yeah, shout out the professional risk taker. Gotta shout out the brand too, yo. Make sure you caught this.
I like your shirt, bro.
We'll remind
What was
you at the
mine,
end of
yo?
the
Like,
podcast.
what?
I don't know
These
where
guys
it
have
is.
me in this dusty
So-
Costco shirt. And you guys got some fresh swag. Like, what the hell's going on?
I just wanted to.
Actually, I don't know. I think it's one of Hamza's shirt. My
See,
bad.
Once these guys
not
have
from
been
Costco.
drinking, it's a different ball game.
Yo, I'm drinking
like,
H2O. I'm trying to get D's like Godfrey. I'll do some punching in there. Oh, I want to talk about your fight eventually. But anyways,
Yeah.
let's get on track.
Yeah, so Kiefer wins HOH.
Yo, I like Kiefer, bro.
I do too.
He's been growing on me.
I didn't at first.
I
but
didn't at first either.
I do now.
And I said, how did he win this popular vote? And how is he the HOH? Just not the HOH and the team leader and all that. I was very confused. And then he pulled out that big win on the for the veto. And then
The Apple
after
challenge.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then after he was on the block and got saved by the side of the house that doesn't even really mess with him like that.
The Sunsetters?
The Sunsetters.
No, the other side of the house.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oddballs.
Sunsetters didn't save him. The
Yeah.
oddball
Yeah.
saved him. And then after that, he flipped it totally around and went from zero to hero.
Yep.
And he's back on as HOH. Back in power. And I really am starting to like Kiefer as a BBCAN threat.
Yeah, man, he is
Kiefer,
definitely a force to be reckoned with, and
Absolutely.
it's funny because if you look at him, he really doesn't look like someone that can be intimidating or a threat to your game. But he's good at comps, he's good socially, and he is situated so nicely in the house where it's like he's dead smack in the middle.
And he's not afraid to take the shots, as we saw this week.
He's not afraid to play this game.
He's
not afraid
actually
to.
moved himself into the middle because obviously he's been on the block twice.
Yeah.
So he like frankly he's at the bottom. But if he continues to win and him shaking up the house enough, what he did was when he was on the bottom and made it to the top and then shook the house up. Now he's in the middle because now there's this power struggle going on in the house between there's the Kyle and Rowan. Then
and
there's
Jed and
the Jed and Ty and
Undercover Brothers.
and the other thank
That's
you.
what you're trying to remember?
No, Austin and
struggling for a
Braden.
minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was saying there's Kyle because we already know about Jed and Ty because that's the Sunsetters. Those are our guys, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm saying even the other two kind of separated, the Braden and Austin, the Kyle and Rowan, Tina and Tara. They've all broken up into these little pairs. And that's why he's been able to float in the middle now because he's shaking this thing up between Austin and Braden and between Kyle and Rowan and between Jed. So he kind of like played everybody against each
That's
other.
true,
a little
he
bit.
did, yeah.
Where now he's into the middle, where it's not like okay, well now we're really playing Big Brother here. We're not just getting out easy targets as okay, we're at this side, so let's just get Kiefer or Josh or Julie or any of these like random people out
who aren't in his own lines.
And now we're getting people that have numbers.
Yeah.
Jed and Ty have numbers. Kyle and Rowan have numbers. Austin and Bray have numbers. And one of those people might be going home. We're really playing Big Brother now, and it's because of Kiefer. You know what I mean?
True.
I like it.
So you think Big Brother officially started with Kiefer's HOH this week?
Yeah.
I think it started last week with Victoria's HOH because she was playing a hard game. Hard game, and she was doing a lot of things that were very calculated and just strategic that impressed me.
No, that's
and
actually
impressed the panel
true, yeah.
Last week, you remember Godfrey?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. No, so I will give that.
Yeah, I think it started last
it might have
week.
started last week,
yeah.
but last week I was just pissed last week that it was like it seemed that it nowhere.
the casualty of what.
Only thing,
happened,
it was
yeah.
more. It seemed a bit more personal with Latoya
Yes.
versus this week. It seemed more calculated with Kiefer. Like he really had no personal. Like he had some animosity towards Kyle, but you could tell he was saying, "I'm down with whoever goes."
Yeah.
So I feel
He
like Kiefer was a lot more thinking strategically this week, as opposed to being hell bent on getting one person out.
I really think that he would have been okay with Austin going.
Yeah, I think he would have been okay with
he
just
said that.
either one of those, and both would be strong people to leave the house. You know, he had the two strong people on the block to get out.
Neither one of them are winning comps. So it's
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
either. I mean, Kyle might be more likely to win a comp than Austin. Perhaps Austin did really well in that first Ooze challenge. I can't really speak to how she did in the other ones. I don't really remember where she placed. But
Austin's won 2 competitions so far.
Yeah.
Remember, she won the arch rival contest too.
Did she win that?
She
Yeah.
won.
And she was
been
HOH.
HOH.
Arch right? Yeah,
She's
she's
a
an
way
HOH.
better competitor
Yes.
Than Kyle?
at this point.
Way better.
Yeah,
way
you're right.
better.
You're right. So she should probably went home.
A testament to a game
She
too.
was clearly the bigger
should've
target.
probably
She
won
should have been.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I forgot.
Yeah.
I remember her almost winning the first competition or coming very high. I forgot she won that arch rival competition. What was the other one she won?
Well, she was close to winning the Ooze something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the same two we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, you're right. So I do agree with you that it did start last week with them with Vic really shook up the house, and Kiefer was able to continue it. He didn't just go for something easy. He could have just went for Vic.
Yeah.
He could have said, "All right, Vic, put me up. Let me
Pretty
just go
much,
right back."
yeah.
for-
But like he
for
didn't.
Vic."
Yeah, he didn't play it that way.
He didn't play it that way. That would have been a very easy thing for him to do.
Would have been the easiest thing.
Exactly.
Vic
Actually,
would've
should just
been-
say Victoria hit the block.
Yeah, and Vic would have been out of the house, and the house would have the same power structure that it had before.
Exactly.
Now, at least one of these legs, if we're talking about the pillars of the house, one of these pillars is Rowan has to make a decision now. I don't even think anybody's gonna go after Rowan right now.
Rowan's in a good spot, man.
Yeah.
Because like right now, the only reason he was really such a huge target is because he was seen as part of a duo.
Yeah.
Now he can, if he is smart, he will attach himself to both sides and try to play the middle. And he has to avoid becoming the next pawn now. Because they could start utilizing him as a pawn, right?
Yeah.
So he has to really just like wiggle his way into one of those groups.
Yeah, and he has to.
And then he can go pretty deep. Yeah, if he just does that and says, "Hey, like I'm nobody's business now.
Yeah,
I'm not a threat." I think he could go.
But now
deep.
it's the other ones. It's Jed and Ty. It's Tina.
Yes,
Tina and Tara is the lowest.
the most. Oh,
And
Austin and Braden and Jed and Ty.
Yeah.
Beth is kind of on the outskirts.
She's on the outskirts. She's dead in the middle.
She's dead in the middle. Yeah, Beth is with Jed and Ty.
Why I'm saying she's kind of on the outskirts.
Actually, they, depending on who wins
That's the
HOH,
threesome
they might
right there.
target her before they even target those.
I think
guys.
so.
You think so?
Yes.
They don't
Because they don't like her.
So they don't like her.
Jed and Ty are more likable. They're seen as threats, but they're
consider
likable.
her dangerous because anything that's ever been told to Beth has always somehow come back to them. Like her mouth is very
Jed and Ty is more.
But she ain't a threat. We just don't like her.
They see her as a threat.
Yeah, but like people also vote who they don't like, right? Like
Yeah, fair enough. So she's at risk,
you have
but
to
she ain't a
remember,
threat. She's just
her,
at risk.
Her with Beth,
Like Josh wasn't really a threat.
Jed,
He was just not well liked by the house.
Beth with Ty and Jed is automatic 3 vote right there. So if they were
That's true,
smart,
too.
they would
One of them
split
has
that
to
up.
go. One of them has to go.
Yeah.
And I think it would be Beth.
Out of Jed.
I wouldn't be
It
surprised,
depends
man.
on who is the HOH. It depends.
Yeah.
Because Tara, if she was to win HOH, I see her targeting Jed, right?
You think so?
Yeah.
That's
but
true.
if it was Austin, I see her targeting Beth.
Yeah, I see Austin targeting Beth as well.
Yeah, it all depends. But yeah, going back to that HOH comp, the there was a little blowout right after LaToya left with Victoria confronting Beth in front of everybody.
Oh,
You guys catch that?
That was on the feeds or on the
On
the
Monday's
show?
episode, sir.
yes.
What? I watched Monday's episode.
It was
In
literally
detail.
Yes. Victoria
So-
tried to flip the vote
Yeah.
on Beth and say that Beth was the reason
That LaToya went home.
Yeah, exactly. That LaToya went home.
Oh yes. But Beth, that didn't go nowhere.
Which she recanted a statement after Kiefer won and said, "Oops, I don't know what I was talking about."
Yeah, that was some BS.
Yeah.
You know why I didn't remember that? Because Beth was she's just like, yeah.
Beth was not even bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
She played it
entertain
smart.
it.
Not
She
at
played
all.
it
She
smart.
knew she was looking for a reaction.
Because it happened
so she's
right
like,
after
Yes.
the eviction. You're right?
Yeah.
So now I get what you're saying. You're saying right after LaToya went out, it started, and then they went into the room and
that was a bit dumb by Victoria because she knows
How
Beth
close
is
they are.
literally sleeping in the same bed as Tyshawn and Jed.
And Tyshawn
There's
said-
no way you're gonna convince those two that she was plotting against them. They have a way better relationship with Beth. So it just wasn't believable.
Didn't make any
She would have
sense.
been better off telling someone like Austin that Beth is coming after you instead of
but-
telling the two most loyal people.
But to Victoria's credit, Beth actually did admit that she did go to her and say
LaToya.
getting LaToya out was a good thing for her resume.
Yeah, she did, but like that's something
So-
that anybody can say, right?
Yeah, but
And she totally
she
shut
couldn't
down
deny
the
it.
rest of everything and said, "Well, I did say that, but I never said anything."
Hey
else."
man, at the end of the day, they're the isosceles triangle 2 seconds.
Yeah,
later.
I'm like, it just you can't. Like, if you're gonna make something up, you gotta go to two people who don't really talk to each other. That way, there's a little bit of paranoia. But you can't go to a pair that's so tight and try
make
to
sense.
infiltrate that. It's
not
too
gonna make
late.
it's not gonna make sense.
And
for you.
she just looked foolish, especially when she had to take it back.
Yeah,
They were like,
yeah.
"Oh, okay."
Yeah, I didn't really. I think they would have showed more of that on the feeds or whatever. But it didn't really go. Like I deleted it out of my memory.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about it. Next.
So
Next.
Kiefer ends up nominating Rohan and Kyle.
Yes.
You think that was a good move for him?
Yeah. Well, like as we said before, it could have been him. It could have been those two. Could have been Bray and Austin. Could have been Tina and Tara, which made no sense. It could have been Victoria combined with Kyle or Rowan. That's what I called. I think that's what I said the nominations were going to be last week's episode.
Yeah.
Which Victoria was just an easy. She put me up. I'm returning the favor, and he could have saved a little face with Rohan and Kyle.
Could've.
He could have done it that way. He just chose to just be like, I don't care. If Kyle had stayed, I think if somehow they pulled it out where they got rid of Austin and Colin Thingworth stayed, I think no matter how much they smiled in Kiefer's face, they would have eventually been like, okay, let's get this guy out now.
Yeah.
It would have been against. So was it smart? It wasn't dumb.
Yeah.
It wasn't a dumb move. Could it have been a smarter play to kind of use Victoria as a shield, given the fact that she's had no problem going after him and she's kind of got nobody in the house really just floating around like as we know she has Bray and Austin, but the house doesn't really know that, and it might have made sense to share a little bit of the blame. I don't know if he has a real ally in Victoria having not put her on the block, so he might have lost that little share of blame, that little cover, and not really gained a whole bunch of goodwill with Victoria by not putting her on the block. I don't know. Like, it wasn't a dumb move, but it could have. I don't know if there was a smarter one. Put it that way.
Okay, I was happy with his noms. I mean, I foresee a battle between the guys in the house. And for Kiefer to be the one to break that up as in break up the pair of Kyle and Rohan. Yeah, it just helps Ty and Jed down the road because like they didn't have to get their hands dirty.
Absolutely.
He basically did the work for them. So
yeah.
I was happy about that. I wouldn't have mind seeing Victoria up there as well.
Yeah.
But like you said, that was an easy route that he could have took, and he didn't. He went for the kill, and I'm happy about that. Makes for good TV.
I think that's good on his resume. He's got 2 power players that he put up. Got rid of one of them. The week literally went as good as it could have for Kiefer.
Yeah. You know what's interesting to me though, although we're looking at Kyle and Rohan and we're looking at Jed and Tyshawn as like, okay, who's gonna emerge as this like killer in the house? You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna be? Oh, these are strong players. It's really Victoria and Kiefer who are playing the best.
It is. Yeah, they're playing the best. They have the shots.
Yeah.
Like, we're looking at all these guys and they're not really doing anything.
Yeah, that's why sometimes you can't really overthink the competitions in terms of what's going to be thrown at you before you get in there, because the competitions that we've seen so far are competitions that literally anybody could win.
Especially
you don't
but you also got to look at it this
special
way.
skill to win some of these.
No, not at all. Like counting rocks, like that's an easy
blowing balls.
You know what I mean?
Like, the only thing I'd say with Victoria and Kiefer, they are sort of so active early on. Like, they're too active early on that like it could hurt them down the road, like these people are they're making like such huge moves early on. Like Jed and Tyshawn are actually, I think they're playing it perfectly, the same as Tina and Beth. No, not Tina and Beth, Tina and what's that other girl's name? Smaller Tara. Tina and Tara are playing a classic game right now. They are not being considered as threats for anything. They have a good flow of information. And like, they're playing a pretty solid game.
Listen,
they don't have to win anything, yet things are still going their way.
The way it's set up right now, Tina and Tara could possibly end up in the Final Four.
I absolutely think they
are
would.
Smack dab
if I had to
middle.
pick some people, I would say the 2 of them will go the distance.
No one's mentioning their names.
And
then you have all these other people that are at war. So what's going to happen is they're eventually going to pick each other off.
And are they not a pair?
The people that have been floating are going to be left to the
They're
end.
as much of a pair as Rohan and Kyle were.
Let me ask you a question.
And like, what's Braden and Austin?
Let me ask you
the
a
only
question.
thing is that they're not really winning, and they're like, "Oh, we're just the old ladies in the house."
Let me ask you a question.
The old ladies are putting in work,
like Karen, right? Remember Karen from Ica's season?
Yes, and Karen was in the final too.
Okay. The only thing that's gonna stop
they're
that
playing the old lady card.
Is what?
The only thing that's gonna stop that is if the people that are at war now decide to
if they consolidate and say, "Let's get rid of these.
Let's get rid of these floaters
Yes,
first, and then we can sort
these
it out
treaders."
after.
So my question, that's the question I've been waiting to ask you. Are they floating?
See, they are
or
treading water.
They're
I'll
treading
tell you
water.
right now, Braden is floating. Braden is straight up floating. I don't think he's even hiding it. Like, he's just sitting there. Oh, you look good, girl. And that's all he's doing. He's
The
not
most he had to say was
strategizing.
about. The most he had to say was about Colin and.
That's all he had to say. That's literally the one
potential
time I've heard
But-
Braden
but-
talk
but hold on.
was him talking about a potential showmance and even his analysis on the showmance was terrible. So imagine his game analysis.
I
the
missed
last
that.
episode.
Whereas Tina and Tara are sort of, yes, they're not really winning, but you can tell they end the conversation.
Yeah.
Even though they're not pushing, do this.
No.
He's consulting them. He's saying, what should I do, ladies?
Yeah.
And they're saying,
They have a lot to say.
Maybe
They're
do
very-
that.
They're very active.
Yeah.
they're active, man. They're
Tara's
treading that
number
water. They're treading
Terra-
that water,
Terra's
man.
one to
And
watch.
these people, like, I really think that the strong players, sooner or later, they're gonna go like, wait a minute, what the hell are we doing?
Right.
What about Braden? What about these
that's
two?
where the peace
What the
treaty
hell's
comes
going
in.
on?
Yeah.
And I think they will eventually start to target those people. Hopefully,
What
it's
about
not too
Braden?
late.
Well,
Yeah,
hold
what
on.
about Braden? Because Braden's not really being seen as a target either.
Hold on, question. Going back to what you said about Braden being a floater, can you still be classified as a floater if your allegiance is very clear in the house? Because
Yes.
usually floaters are people that
Yes.
just float from situation to situation.
No,
Well,
no,
yes.
no, no, no,
Doing
no.
that.
Floaters are not.
That's the
floaters.
traditional, like,
That's
before,
how I
that's
know
what
floaters
it...
to me. They just go wherever the power is.
Nah,
Braden is
that's
not
not
doing
a,
that.
That's not a floater to me.
That's
a floater
my
is a
definition
person.
of a floater that floats from power to power.
Yeah, not necessarily from power to power. It's because you can have you can have a floating alliance, right? You can if you're
Damn, a floating alliance? I don't even know.
I've never
This is
heard
like
that
new
term
terms.
Tara and Tina, they're clear with their.
Yeah.
Let us
But
know in
like,
the
they're two
comments if you've
floating-
ever heard of a
That's a floating
alliance.
alliance, bro. That
we
is
need
a
references.
bro. That Tara and Tina
Yeah.
are a floating alliance,
Listen,
bro.
I'll break this down.
I don't.
This
see
is
them
the
as a floating
history-
alliance because
How?
they've never voted with the Sunset.
Listen.
So how can they be a floating alliance?
What are you talking about? They
They-
are an
as a
alliance.
pair,
As they're
as
an
a pair,
alliance,
right?
They're an
an
alliance,
but
and
they've
they're
never,
floating.
They've never voted with the Sunsetters.
What does that have to do with anything? We're talking about them being an alliance. They. I didn't mention anything to
is
do.
very clear as to
Listen,
who they're
this is
voting
the
with. They can't
resident
be floaters.
Big Brother
Hold on.
historian right here. This is the history of floating. The
Break
term
it down, guys.
was originally coined by Rachel on her season.
Right.
And
Yeah.
she was referring to, I think it was, what's the guy's name that she was beefing with in there? But anyway, the name is not, what's his name again? But anyways,
I
the
don't know,
name is
historian.
irrelevant. But anyways,
I remember Rachel, but I can't remember.
she
who
coined the
was beefing with.
term and she was referring to, like Laudy was saying, people who kept on going where the power went.
Right.
Because one week, certain people in the house would be with one person who was the HOH, then they'll be with another. And she was like, you guys are floaters. You guys are floating.
Right.
That was the original
So
term.
that's the Old
But as
Testament
if
version. What's
that's
the-
the Old
what's the
Testament.
New Testament
but the
version that
New
West knows
Testament,
now?
we kind of know floaters as players that they don't necessarily have to rush to the power. We also consider floaters just people who are just inactive in the game, who are almost just in
Okay,
the
I'll
background. They're
accept that. I'll
sitting,
accept that.
they are not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
See,
accept
on
that.
Wes's version, somebody who is going from power to power might actually be like somebody who's playing both sides.
Right.
And
Yeah.
if they're just like doing whatever the power says, it might be a person who's just wishy-washy, but not really a floater because at least they're being proactive in the game.
Okay,
a floater
yeah,
is now somebody who just says, you know what, I'm going to chill and I'm not even going to talk game. I'm not even going to say anything. And we're seeing this, a classic Exhibit A is Braden. He is sort of just like inactive. Yeah, he has an alliance, but is he really, he's not influencing the game
He's
in
not
any way.
causing any waves.
So and what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, although Tina and you just made this treading water
Yeah.
thing.
They're
last
treading
week.
water, man.
So if we're saying treading water and floating are of the same category, just one is more strategic than the other, right?
Exactly, yes.
Then if before you coined this phrase last week, we'd call them floaters, right? In the middle.
Not exactly. Like
do you call them? If they're
there are
not treading
players
water,
who
then what
a
are they
player
doing?
who's under the radar is not really a floater.
Yeah, but
and we
if-
hear this
if-
a lot of time. Usually they'll target a person and say they're so under the radar. I can't tell where their allegiance lies.
For me, Tina is a
like you've heard that though, right? Like players who
But
they say are under the radar.
Tina is a floater because she doesn't really influence much. She does. Why I say that I rate the fact that they're active is they ask a lot, they talk a lot, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes,
but they're
yes,
not
yes.
really influencing or changing the course of much. Tina or Tara, they know what's going on. They're in
That
the
is-
know,
that is
and that's a
true.
point in their favor. But they're not changing.
But they
nothing.
did hold some weight for Kiefer's decision though. Like he was sort of consulting them. I don't know if he was just saying
That's
that
what they
just
were
to
trying
make
to-
it seem as though he's
At
asking
the end
them
of
for
the day,
their
Austin,
opinion.
it was a straight vote. We don't know what happened in between that, but Austin didn't even get not one vote.
Yeah.
So except for
Even though they
Rowan.
made it seem like it was about to be a split,
Yeah,
or
that's
at least like
That is
was
true.
just
Yes,
TV.
exactly.
I feel like that was
is
on
true.
TV.
That
So
is true.
they're in the conversation.
So like we'll see as the game goes. Like we'll see, are they really putting in work or are they
I
just
don't
kind
care
of
if they.
talking?
I don't care if they are or aren't. For my point,
Yeah.
that to me is a floating alliance. Even though they're aligned with each other, you were saying if you have a clear alliance in the house,
Clear
are you
allegiance.
still clear allegiance rather? Are you? They have a clear allegiance to each other. Right, but they're still floating together wherever they're like they're still just going under.
I don't know. To me, in my head, I'm thinking if you are a floating alliance, right? Floating to me means you're moving around in the house.
Yeah, no, we're off that.
I don't see them moving.
I'm talking about someone who's
around the house.
inactive in the game. That's what we're.
If you
we're
think about it,
going
they
at.
are on both sides because aren't they part of the Sunsetters?
And
Tina was originally.
Tina was
but it's
originally
very
a
clear
Sunsetter.
Right now that she's not. She's not
No, it's
working
not.
with them.
It's not
Of
clear
course
to
it is.
Jetson and them.
To everybody. What do you
No,
mean?
not to
How
Jet.
much times Tyshawn's been like, it's just the four of us now. We got to keep this.
That is true though. Yeah.
They know Tina's not with
But
them.
they
Tina
are
hasn't
still-
been voting with them for like 2-3 weeks. Where have you guys been?
Yeah, but she was never supposed to vote with them.
Originally she
Yeah.
was.
Like last
No,
week, she
no.
did say
Okay, so-
she did make her allegiance known though.
Hold on.
last
First
week.
Yeah,
of all,
especially by her vote last
first of
week.
all,
Yeah.
there was always the play that this was like almost undercover. The Sunsetters, in terms of Kiefer,
Yes.
who they still don't know Kiefer's working with them. They're like, why is Kiefer not putting out the guys that voted him out? Whatever. They're confused. They don't think that Jed and Tyshawn and Beth are as close.
I don't know
to
if I
Kiefer
buy
as-
that. That might just be for TV because they're
They
always
know.
together.
Yeah, they
Kiefer,
know.
Beth, Ty, and Tysh and Jed are always together.
Who?
No, I think he means like is
Rowan's
Kiefer
talking to
with.
himself in the room by himself. What do you mean for TV? Rowan's in a ball pit, like, dog, I can't believe this guy's still with these guys. He doesn't know he's on the. They don't care about him. Like,
Yeah.
he
Oh, okay, I
legit-
see what you mean. Yeah.
Like
They
they
legit
know
don't-
Kiefer has something going on. with
Yeah, they
him.
do.
But
they
I
don't know
do
that
think
he's as
Tina and them
tight.
think that Kiefer is more so with them than he is with that
100%.
threesome.
Yeah.
100%.
And to be
especially
honest,
after
if
this
Kiefer's smart, he should sort of go with Tina and Tara.
He has better
because
odds
he has
there.
more of a resume on him.
Yeah.
Even though Jed and Tyshawn haven't really done anything.
They haven't done anything.
Like we
I'm
really
voting-
call this the beauty privilege. That threesome is gonna get a lot more credit, even though they haven't really done much, than Kiefer would.
Nope.
Which is unfortunate. I really think so, man.
Right now, if those are the top three in the game, just going off
You
their
think so?
resumes, if everyone just automatically got evicted from the house randomly, and we're just going by now, I'm picking Kiefer over.
You
my
think Jets and
Tyshawn.
Captain Canada will lose next to Kiefer?
100%. Like if
Or
I'm
Tyshawn.
talking about for me. I'm not talking about.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm talking about in the house. Who do they perceive as being a better player?
I think you guys are essentially
Because
saying
if
the
those
same
two
thing.
guys make it to the end,
he's
since
saying
they are so
Jetson.
You're
no,
saying
I'm saying
Jetson?
because those guys are so big and jacked and are like threats, people might say, "Wow, these guys should have been gone a long time ago. They finessed their way to the end."
Right.
So they might get more
No.
credit for surviving.
They have to do shit. And they haven't. I don't know if they will. If they will,
The reason I say
what?
that is because
They
people are
haven't done
targeting them
anything
already.
thus far, and people are still looking to them
Exactly.
as targets.
It's like people
Yeah, so
just
it's
see
just
them
like
as
Colin-
threats.
Just off of their physical.
Yes.
But
Just
if-
off the way they
but-
carry
So what's to
But-
say
Just
they
off the
would
fact
not?
that they hang around together in their
And
numbers.
if they are
Yeah, but
condemning
if-
them based on that,
That's-
what's to say they're gonna applaud them based on those same attributes?
Bro, when you get to the jury, I've never seen a jury that has not read the game. And if you're reading the game, you're not giving no power to Ty.
that's different. That's jury. I'm talking about right now being a target.
Yes.
What? Nigga, we have all different conversations.
Listen, right now
talking
as
about-
targets,
wait,
they're
hold
not.
on.
Yeah.
I thought what you were saying is who's gonna win if we were to win the game. You're
I
judging
would
the game,
I was
who's
saying like as
likable.
the game is going right now, who is being perceived as being a strong player?
Okay.
That's a
But what's the
question
point
to
of
you.
that?
Like in the house, who do people consider a strong player?
They don't consider Kiefer as strong of a player. as
Exactly.
they- No,
So
but
what's to say when they get evicted, they're not gonna have that same logic and
That's-
say Keeper's not
see?
strong.
See,
Jetson
that's
is
what we're
strong.
on thing. So now you're talking jury.
That's what I mean. Yeah. If they
so
do
you're
make it in
on-
jury,
you're
though.
on a different page.
But even if
But
they
in
do make it in
jury-
jury, they might still be biased.
Nah, but in jury you got to read the game, and you have to sit
how?
down-
If you're in jury, it means that you were not that good. I'm sorry.
No, but when you sit down in jury, you sit down, you say,
I don't know
"What
any good
have
player
they
who
done?"
was in jury.
What? That's you not.
I'm just saying,
I'm gonna
man.
box your mic off the table.
I don't
bro.
know what the jury
There's
looks
the
like, 'cause
there's
I
the
haven't been there, but-
there is the most
guy.
good players that get evicted because they're good players that sit in jury. What are you talking about, bro?
I'm just saying, if you were that good, you would not have been kicked out.
I've seen more
That was
better
talking because
players
he's-
in
that's
jury
only because he
than
got
in
the
the
second
final.
place.
two.
If you're
Yeah,
that
only
good,
only because
You're
he got
only
the second
saying
place.
that 'cause
You
of
were
how
one-
far-
why are you in jury? Listen, I'm talking. I can understand if you say third place, fourth place. Yeah, you can
you're
be pretty
in jury.
good.
Still jury.
Yeah, but I'm like, I can understand because like you got in there pretty late. You just sniffed it. You didn't even spend the night in jury. You just
my
got in
God.
there and they said, "Oh, it's finale. You got to go vote." I'm talking about people who went in jury like right now, like Kyle. You cannot tell me that this guy read the game. How?
No, but I'm not saying he can't. Like, okay, so he didn't read the game, but when he
didn't.
When he has weeks, all he has to
And
do
think
is
about, but weeks of what? He doesn't know what's going on. He can only go
They
by
bring
whoever
the-
comes
they bring-
in.
exactly, and
They
they bring
show
the
him an
stupid little
edited
tapes.
one little tape, which Big Brother might try to push a certain player.
they bring in a little tape.
Yeah,
and
a
they
tape
watch
of
a little
what?
tape.
Of 30 seconds? This is what happened,
and
buddy.
People come in and say, yo, this is what happened to me and who this is who I
Yo,
was
Wes,
with.
think about it this way. You're sitting in jury. You're
Yes.
salty because you just got voted out. You're eating. You can finally eat. You're off slop. Big brother brings you some little nasty tape. And are you really going to watch that? Are you really concerned, or you're like,
Bro,
oh,
do I have-
oh, that's the tape. Okay, thank you.
I
I'm gonna
have-
go back to drinking alcohol.
Do I have Netflix?
That's
or
what
something?
jury people are
Bro,
doing.
hold on. Do I have Netflix or something when they
If
bring
that's
the
the
tape?
only thing to watch,
I'm
trust
gonna
me,
be
you're gonna watch it.
I'm amped. I'm waiting for that tape every week, bro. Are you kidding me? Anyways, we're going way.
Yeah,
the hell
we're
off.
dissecting this too much
Yeah,
now.
we getting back on track. Where are we at now? The veto. The veto was played. The competition was the mouse over the molehill competition, where they had to move the ball through a pathway.
I think a girl should have won that competition. That's all. That's all I have to say about that. That's
Godfrey. Yeah. do you remember that competition?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. And Rohan won. He took himself off the block.
Yeah, Rowan, man, surprise. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Good comp win.
I'll give it to him. I'll give him his props. This
His
week.
back was against the wall,
last week I
man.
was kind of hard on Rohan, but he pulled out a win.
Absolutely.
You know, congrats. Took himself off the block.
I don't
He
get. I
finally
don't
did
give no clap for winning that competition.
something. Listen, he was up against
It's
some
do or
serious
die,
people.
man.
Beth and Jed looked like they had it at one point.
Beth should have won the competition.
Why should Beth
What?
have won the competition?
Because she's supposed to have.
First of all, it's a competition where you have to move fast. You're on your knees under a table. You know what? I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna stop right
Cut this
here.
whole thing. Cut this whole thing.
Listen, anybody could have
this
won.
whole
Anybody
thing.
could have won, man.
But
Anybody
it
could
was
have
about
won.
who's the best at being on their knees and blowing
I
balls.
don't know. I don't know if these people practice that at home.
That's what I'm saying. The competition.
I don't know.
First of all,
I guess the shortest person, maybe Beth.
Listen, let's
short.
Let's rewind. We're gonna
Rewind.
rewind to compose ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, listen, Big Brother is supposed to be a family show.
Yeah.
I don't know why the veto competition was about who can be on their knees and blow the most balls. That's what I want to know. It's supposed to be a family show, and I thought Beth would have blew the most balls.
That's family friendly though. Like I think that's family.
I thought Beth would have been the one to blow the balls the best. To be honest, that was just my personal.
Or Austin. Austin wasn't really good in that competition.
Like what criteria are you guys using to judge who would have been that best?
Doug, I'm naming the three things
Spit
that
it
you
out.
needed. You
Yeah.
needed it was you're on your knees, you blew the balls. Those are the skills,
Right.
the fastest. That's all. Like that's the only criteria I can use. So in my mind, I said Beth, Austin, go for them.
Yeah. Didn't work out that way.
Didn't work out that way.
won.
Rohan.
Yeah.
No comments.
Rohan won. So anyways, Rohan wins, takes himself off the block. And I made a note of this while I was watching this week. I said this is the first time that I've actually seen Tyshawn in game mode.
God.
So
Jesus Christ.
I say that because he was starting to have conversations about who the replacement nominee was going to be. Actually, even before I think the veto, he was trying to.
You talking about
push
who again?
For Austin.
Oh,
Tyshawn.
yeah.
He was trying to push for Austin to go up. on
Dude,
the
speaking
block.
of that, I was kind of suspect about that whole thing. Like, why was Tyshawn so hell bent on Austin
But
going out?
this
It
is-
seemed
this-
like he had a
this is
vendetta.
This is why I said I actually liked what I saw, and this is the first time I've seen him
Yeah.
play this game because he was able to read certain things about Austin and come to the conclusion that she needed to go.
You're saying he
said
had the
that Austin
foresight to-
was,
yeah,
was good in the house. Her name wasn't
Absolutely.
really being mentioned in a lot of conversations. She was a comp beast.
Yeah.
Right, and all of those things factored into the fact that she needed to go.
That's actually
Which
true, though.
He
That's
was
actually
right.
true, yeah.
You know, if you've been watching, Austin is dangerous.
She is.
Plus, she has Braden as her. You know what I mean? So she has a
Mm-hmm.
number. So I made a mention of that I would mention that on the
Another
podcast.
thing
I
that's
like
kind
that.
of overlooked too is that when we analyze these alliances and we say Jed and the threesome, or we say like Rohan and Kyle, I actually think that Braden and Austin are the most dangerous couple. The reason being, when you look at Rohan and Kyle, both people are eventually going to be eliminated. They don't have that much longevity in the game. Whereas you look at somebody like Braden, he has so much longevity because he's just not seen as a threat. So if I'm Austin, I can sit comfortably knowing that my ally is never going to be targeted. Whereas if I'm allied to like Tyshawn or a Jetson, I'm always worried because I'm like,
Yeah.
man, if people come after my ally, they're gonna come after me.
Right.
So if I'm Austin, I'm really sitting pretty because like I got an ally who I know is gonna be in there for a long time.
And Braden probably feels the same way about Austin too.
And
They both feel comfortable.
See, and Braden must be the happiest because like he's the weaker one of the two. So if they ever have to go on the block together, Braden's like, bye, Austin. See you later.
Yeah, if it ever does come to that.
So like that's an interesting alliance, man.
Unless she pulls herself off the block.
That yes,
Which is a huge possibility.
that is a huge possibility.
So while I agree, just being they're not a floating alliance.
Yeah, they're
Because they're not a floating alliance. Austin is not a floater. Austin is out there. Austin is known as
Austin
a calm
is out
beast.
there,
Austin
yes.
is active. Whatever. Braden is tied himself.
He's riding
to
her coattails.
someone who. But I'm saying just the same way that really and truly, I would say that Rowan was only on the block because of Kyle. If
Absolutely, and if
post-
Rowan didn't have Kyle, I really think Rowan might have been okay.
no, but I'm saying if he didn't win the veto,
Oh
then
yeah,
he would've been home.
he would have.
Yeah, he would have went home
of
for
course.
sure.
If I mean if Kyle did, I don't know if he neither of them won.
I think Rowan would have gone home. Yeah, he would have gone
Really?
home.
Out of Rohan and
Out of Kyle, yeah, Rowan and Kyle.
Yeah,
I think
Rowan
Rowan
would've went.
would have gone home.
I believe so.
So back to my point. Braden is a serious threat serious risk because his alliance is not a floating alliance, and his alliance member is at risk and puts him at risk.
Wait a minute, what?
Interesting take on it.
You
fact
said he's
that-
not a threat.
He's although he's not a threat, he's still at risk.
Oh, because you say he's still at risk. Yeah.
Austin, if we're gonna put someone on the
That
block
is
next to
true.
Austin,
Yeah.
that's the go-to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The only good saving grace for him is that Austin would surely go home before him.
Yes,
Because
Unless
nobody's
she wins
worried
the
about
veto.
Braden, you know? Yeah, if she wins the veto, that's the only thing he has to worry about.
But because I'm comparing that duo to again Tina and Tara, which are
Tina and Tara,
literally
Tina and Tara, I think are kind of equals, man. I think any one of them.
But not only are they equals, they're way neither Tina nor Tara
Yeah,
is a
absolutely,
threat.
yeah.
So they're a pair that has two non-threatening
they're a
people.
perfect pair.
Yeah.
They're like the.
Right. Do you think Kiefer replacing Rohan with Austin as the replacement nominee was a good move on his part? Given all the people that are left that he could have put up.
I don't think it was good, man. The reason I don't think it was good is because, like, I think even Rohan said that if you, by putting up Austin, now he upset Braden because Austin has a pair. And he also upset Rohan because Rohan's pair is on. So 4 people are upset. One is going to go home, so 3 people are upset.
Who would you put on the block?
Victoria.
Yeah, why not
Because
put up
Victoria's not
Victoria?
attached to anybody,
And
so
if
he's not
Victoria
offending
actually
anybody.
went home, only 2 people upset.
Yeah.
Well, that goes back to what I said. We're going back full circle when you said, what I think of Kiefer's noms, and I said, was it the smart or was it dumb? It
was a bold play, but it wasn't the smartest right now.
It wasn't a dumb play, but it wasn't the smartest.
Yeah, it wasn't the smartest
So Victoria
either.
would have been the smarter option over Austin, unless you're actually trying to get Austin out.
Right.
Absolutely. Actually, I think the smartest thing would have been for him to just recognize who does he want out and then put in a pawn.
Yeah.
That would have been the best thing to do. Because the pawn knows their job is to sit on the block. So no one's upset. Your person goes
Kyle
home.
and Rohan together was the best option because whoever wins the veto, like if Rohan won the veto, if he
Yeah.
put Kyle and Vic and Rohan wins the veto, he pulls Kyle off. They're both safe, right? So Kyle and Rohan were the best options.
They were the
with
best,
Vic
but
as
yeah,
the pawn
exactly. I think he just got a little ambitious, you know. He was like, and who knows, man? Maybe it will work out for him. See, it really comes down to is
Who wins this
Austin
HOH?
upset right now?
And who wins this HOH?
Like, do you guys think Austin is pissed?
Yeah.
Do you think she's gonna go?
She
She's
seemed like
gonna
she
go
was,
for
'cause she was
Kiefer.
like, you know, when they were up there
Yeah.
playing the competition, they made an agreement.
Yeah.
Kiefer went back on his word, so I feel like she's a little bit salty.
Do you think Kiefer's her number 1 target now because of that?
I don't
Or
know
is
if
she
she's-
willing to take other people
I don't
out?
know if she's ready to take that shot at Jed and Ty yet.
So you think that
she
Kiefer
may
for
go
sure,
Kiefer
right?
Instead, yeah. And she has all the reason in the world to do that. He put her on the block when he said he wouldn't. So
I hate those HOH competition. They've done it in every single
Yeah, they
competition
have it,
this thus far. I won't put you up if you don't put me up. That's such a
those
stupid
on the spot deals. in the
I hate those
comps.
deals because
Yeah.
that deal means absolutely nothing.
It doesn't mean
unless
anything. It doesn't mean
unless
anything.
it goes like the reason why I'm not putting you up is not because I gave you my word. It's because it doesn't make sense for me to put you up. If
Yes.
it makes sense for me to put you up, I'm putting you up. That those deals mean absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
They've meant nothing
I just
every
feel like,
every
yo,
single
shut
week.
up.
Yeah.
What I will say though
But
about those,
they always do it in the exact same way. Yo, I'm not gonna put you. No, I'm not gonna put you up. Yeah.
but you
got
see,
safe,
the
girl.
deals they have to be done in a certain way. Here's how you pull off a deal like that. When when it's the last two people, what you do, you don't whisper in the person's ear, "Hey, are we good?" No. You say it loudly, "Hey, man, if I win, I'm safe, right?" And then that person, if they say yes, everyone else is seeing that. So it's more so like the incentive for somebody to keep their word is because they gave their word so publicly.
Yeah.
That way people might say that person's a snake. Look what they did. That's sort of like the science.
Kyle tried to call out.
But you see
Rowan
with
for
Kyle,
Kiefer for that.
but see with Kiefer and what's her name and Austin, they sort of they made a deal, but it wasn't really loud like that. They sort of said it amongst themselves.
It was between them.
So nobody would even know because
I don't think that
only
really
the two of them, right? So you really gotta announce it.
That has something to do with it, but the other thing that has to do with it, I think, for a deal like that to really stick, it's like
And they stick early on. That was another thing I would add on. It has to be done early on when people are so worried about trust. But if you do that deal on final 6 or final 5, nobody, like you said, nobody cares. Because let's say you have your alliance, they might actually say you're a good play by Wes. He tricked that person into giving up HOH.
Yeah.
But if it's done the first 3 weeks, people care about that because you don't know who to trust and you can only go by their actions, right?
I think people are just looking for any reason to nominate someone.
And again, I think that it has to be like, I'm on the wall, right? I'm hanging on for dear life, and I'm like, yo, I feel like I'm gonna drop, but I can stay up here for another hour if you tell me, unless you tell me I'm safe.
Yes.
Am I safe?
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna be safe. Are you sure? All right, you know what? I'm gonna jump off the wall. If it just like, if we make a deal and then we both still compete,
that's true. Because then it means that did we because it means that did you lose because of the deal or did you just lose? And now you want to say, I honor the deal. So
for me, it's
once you make it, you have to drop right away.
Sometimes the deals that will happen is like, yo, I really need a letter from my family. Can I win this HOH?
Yeah. Yes.
You don't need the win. I need the win.
That's true.
And you're like, all right, cool. I'm safe. I'm gonna get you the letter for your family. Am I safe? Yeah. Okay,
and those ones
cool.
work a lot better because people can see that, wow, this person sacrificing their family to give you HOH.
It makes
so the person looks like an asshole for breaking their word. But it can't just be done that way.
Yo, we're both good on the block. Yo,
and you guys still go hard.
Cool. We're both in the
no.
What was the point of that deal? It makes no sense,
the deal, it has to be one of those where like you're both struggling for dear life and it's like, hey man, we don't want to punish ourselves.
Yes.
That's a good deal.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
You both stay on the wall for another hour. There's no point in that.
Exactly. That's a good deal. Yeah.
Because I stayed on the wall for an hour. Now I do whatever I want with my HOH. I earned this still.
Right?
Anyways, what else we have to discuss?
So Kyle was evicted tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a unanimous vote, right? Or no, Rohan
just
voted.
Rohan gave him the empathy vote.
Yeah,
the Roe show.
And that's Showtime is now no more. How do you feel about that?
It's now Roe time, man.
Roe time?
No
he's
time.
Gonna peak now?
I think Rohan. I don't know.
Were we saying before earlier when we were on the live about Rohan being by himself now?
Oh yeah, like I was saying, like right now, him being the only player who's sort of like isolated, he really needs to attach himself to just where the power is right now. Like this is his best selling point, man.
I guess he said it twice.
He needs to go to somebody, go to that threesome and say, hey, now we're 4.
Yeah.
Look at me. You guys can use me whichever you guys want for your 3-way, and then let me put in work for you guys.
Right. It only makes sense for him.
That's what it makes sense, man.
It only makes sense for him to do that.
And people will believe him because they'll say, "Where's he gonna go?"
Yeah. It only makes sense for him to do that with Austin and Braden though, because there's already an established.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
So
I'd say with anybody, man.
Look at his face.
I'd say with anybody, man.
I was gonna call something out when I did.
Yeah, don't bother. The invisible HOH comp that we just saw.
Yeah,
I like it.
I do too. I think it's gonna mix.
I think it's
we've
good.
seen this before though. We haven't seen it done in this manner.
Not in this fashion,
but
no.
we've seen it before.
But do you think it's possible to live in a house with 9-10 other people, or however many there are now?
Depends on who wins.
West won HOH, and me and Godfrey don't know about it.
Depends on who wins.
Yeah.
Like secrets
that is
don't
true.
stay
That's your
long
secret.
in the
Yeah.
All people have to do in the Big Brother house is talk and share information.
The way
Victoria could win.
Yeah.
And nobody would know about it.
They would know. Victoria would run him out immediately.
You think so?
Yes. She would probably even announce and say, I am the HOH. Come pitch to me. I guarantee it.
Unless there's some sort of clause or condition that you cannot tell anybody in order to keep her title of HOH.
Yes.
That's the only way that.
But why would she
work,
say
but-
that? Why would she say
But
that?
then that doesn't make sense.
Why would she say? Why would she? Why do you have an invisible cloak and you take it off?
Listen, because I think she's gonna be power hungry. She's gonna try and flex her muscles and say, "Look at me, I'm the boss." She's gonna try and use it as leverage as well to kind of say, "Do you want me to put you up?" Or, "Hey, I got the power. I'm not gonna put you up. I'm
She
gonna
wouldn't
spare
just
you."
go after who she wants to go after.
I think even if
Very-
Victoria doesn't win, she will still say she is the HOH, which is I actually might do the same thing. The strategy with this HOH, there's two ways to go about it. Number one, you just keep your mouth shut.
You can't pretend because then when stuff happens, it's not in your control. You look like a
No,
stupid
but this is what you
idiot.
say. You say, "I am the invisible HOH, but I will spare you." And then you just gotta pray that the person you promised does not get put up.
Godfrey's
Imagine you
strategy
say that
is-
to the person. That
I'm telling
won the
you, man.
HOH, though.
This is the drunken master strategy, man.
Yo, Godfrey, I don't know about you, man.
I'm telling you.
We have to take what Godfrey's saying. into
Sometimes you gotta do
Take it
that.
into
Because
consideration.
You gotta do
Godfrey,
that, man. Yeah,
What did you place on your season?
yeah man. Second, man. Like
we gotta listen to Godfrey. Yo.
Listen,
Godfrey
man.
knows.
Hey, man.
I
haven't
Wes,
played Big Brother
You gotta
yet.
take risks, man. You
I
gotta
haven't
take
played Big
risks.
Brother yet. I
Right
get
now
it.
is the perfect time. It's either you do that or throw somebody else under the bus and say, "Man, I think that guy is the HOH." They told me.
that I think
dangerous
is
though. That's a very dangerous.
Because then that person might be the HOH.
exactly. And then right there, you put a target on your back where you didn't. Need
Absolutely,
to,
man.
You know.
Listen, man.
But
What do you
There's
think would be the
no-
perfect thing to do if you had invisible HOH? Are you telling
Put up-
people or no?
I'm not telling nobody.
You're not telling them.
I'm not even telling my alliance members.
telling
I think that, yeah.
Nobody.
To be honest, I think
I'm not
that
even
would be
telling
the
the
smartest
cameras.
thing.
Nobody's
Absolutely.
knowing.
I'm telling. If I'm pick any player. Who am I? Pick.
Let's say you are.
Tara.
Yeah, let's say you.
If I'm Tara, that's easy. Jed and Ty.
Okay.
And I'm going. Oh my God, who do you think the HOH
Absolutely.
is?
Yeah.
We gotta find out.
Right.
It must be Austin.
Right.
Austin's coming. Why would you ever? Like, I get what you're saying about Victoria, but why would you ever tell people who
Volunteer
you,
that
who
information.
you are
That
when
is
you get-
true.
When
That
you
is
get to
true.
be so, you get to
Absolutely,
do
yeah.
whatever you want
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
no consequence.
Right.
And I'll even say, man, for anybody watching, like this, you guys got to think about it this way. If you have that anonymous power, this is the perfect week to do what serves you, not alliance,
Personally,
not anybody.
yeah.
Right.
It's the perfect time for you to look around the house and say, which people do I want out?
Bro.
And you just need to pull the trigger and do it.
I don't like Kiefer.
The minute you
He
start
keeps
telling
eating all
people-
the corn pops,
Yes.
He's gone.
He has to do that, yeah.
just for that reason alone.
I do.
And I agree. I think anyone who gets it in there, aside from the Sunsetter affiliates, I think they might go for Jed and Tyshawn.
Yeah.
Unless
They
something
could- I said
drastic
that
happens,
watching
man.
it. Yeah.
But
There
I
could
feel
be
like
someone
anybody
soon.
that's the perfect, because those are two people that a lot of people are fearing to say their names.
Yeah.
So I think whoever wins it, they have to, man.
Right.
Only exception is if, of course, it's Jed, Tyshawn, or Beth. Heck, even Beth might pull something, man. Who knows?
No, she needs her.
Yeah, she needs a-
I was gonna
yeah.
say something, but
She needs a Oreo.
Kiefer can't win. He's the only person that I would say. He's the only person that other than I would say he's the only person that could maybe strike at those guys, but it makes no sense. Like anonymously, but
Yeah.
it makes no sense.
Like right now, 10 people
Yeah,
will
I said
play.
He's the only like yeah. So Kiefer, that's what I started with saying. Yeah,
okay.
but-
You got
But-
7 oddballs and 3 sunsetters. So
Yeah.
that's where it stands. So like the oddballs really have, because the oddballs are pretty much the rest of the house, right?
Yeah. But there's no other pair to really go after other than Jed and Thing. Obviously,
So it's
Austin
interesting,
and-
man. It's
yeah,
interesting.
and
Who knows?
so-
Tara and Thing don't matter. Austin and Bray, you can go back after them, which is really just Austin, and then Jed and Tyshawn.
yeah.
I think they
Beth don't matter. Victoria
they're gonna
don't
taste the
matter,
block for sure, and they're not gonna know who hit them because
I'm hoping one of them wins.
they're
That
everybody's
doesn't happen.
target.
It's too early for them to be on the block already.
So you
Yeah.
think one of them might?
Yeah.
I hope the way that Tyshawn knows his geometry, he knows how to count.
I hope so too.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. If you were the HOH, who would you nominate this week?
Like if I was the HOH, well, damn, that's kind of tough, man. Like let's say if I was somebody in the house,
Yeah.
Like if I was maybe like Rohan, I would. Damn, like if I was Rohan, I'd probably Yeah, I'd say Jed and Tyshawn, man. I think for anyone in there, they have to.
If you're anybody
put
except for
Tyshawn,
Jed,
they have to.
Tyshawn, and Beth, you're going for Jed.
Not
and
even
Tyshawn.
because they're two big guys. No, because they're three people.
Yeah.
Those are three votes that are always going to vote together, and you are not aligned with them.
Right.
If
The
you're
only
any-
person who should not be going after them is Kiefer because he feels like that's his crew. But they have to, man, because it's like, and on top of that, for bragging rights, you can say, I took a big shot.
Yeah, if you're anybody other than Jedson,
I'd be
Tyshawn,
surprised, man.
and Beth,
I'd be surprised.
Then it's Jedson and Tyshawn. If
Yeah.
you are Jedson, Tyshawn, or Beth, then it's Austin and Braden. That's pretty much it.
Austin
Yeah.
and Braden.
But I feel like if it's Rohan,
So
he
just
might
let
want to
Rohan
avenge
slide
his
to the
boy,
Final
though.
Four.
Don't you
No,
think
you
so?
can get Rohan out anytime, bro. He's
No, I mean if Rohan won
People,
it.
people have said that before, and
Yeah,
sucks,
people have
bro.
said that.
we've seen Slithering Kevin Martin end
Yo,
up
man.
winning.
Yeah,
Like,
but who's gonna
people were saying we can get him.
Yeah,
out
we can
anytime.
get him
Who's
out
good,
next
and he
week.
peaked at the right time.
But
and
who's
managed to
gonna-
win that
who's
season.
gonna win more?
Rohan could be the same thing this season.
Nah, who's gonna win more, Rohan or Austin?
Rohan doesn't have to win, though.
Well, we just seen Rohan
Yeah, he
win
does.
a comp.
To keep to stay off the block, he has to win.
If
No,
we're
he just
talking
needs to
comp
not get
wins-
voted.
If we're talking comp wins,
Yeah.
technically they're equal now because
Exactly.
we just saw him win one, and
Yeah, but-
he won one where she was in also.
And you got to look at it this way. Like, Rohan
Yeah, but
doesn't...
they're all in the HOH.
Like, going on the block itself isn't bad. I was on there 5 times. I was comfortable on the block. Like, it was a nice little seat, man. I was keeping it warm for the next person to come on. Like, listen, being on the block doesn't really mean much. It's like, are you in danger if you're on there? So, like, obviously you preferably don't want to be there. But I wouldn't say it's the scariest place to be. Sometimes it's the best place to be because you don't get to vote.
Yeah,
so
but
your hands are clean. You're like, what are you talking about? I was on the block.
I get
I
you,
didn't
but-
screw you.
But to what I said before, what you guys are both saying, again, I said you can get him out anytime. Anytime he's on the block, you can get him out. It's only if he's winning.
It depends with who he's on the block with, though. He has
Anytime
to
you're on
be
the
with
block,
somebody.
you can get him out.
See,
Anytime
and that's
he's
the
on the
logic
block.
they're gonna use. They're gonna say, "Well, we can get him out. Look, we had him on the block last week. We can
Bro,
get him out easily."
You can
until
say there's
it's
way too
late.
many people in the house to be talking about sliding to Final Four. That's what I'm getting.
True,
at.
true.
Anybody could slide to Final
Okay.
Four. There's you have to get Braden out. You have to get Tina out. You have to get Tara out. You have to get Rohan out. You have to get Beth out. There's 5 people that aren't really doing shit.
Yeah, and those 5 names you named, I think will be the 5 that are at the end.
And
What?
Those names,
I think you just named the final 5 right now.
Well,
like, who did
consider-
you name again?
consider this, though.
Let's have it on
The
record.
names-
Who did you name?
I named
Because he's
Beth,
just about to name the final 5 right now. So pay attention.
Beth?
Yes.
Tara, Tina, Braden, Rohan.
And that's the final 5. There you have it.
And 4 of those names are in duos except for Rohan.
There you have it.
So they will always be targeted before he is.
There you have it.
Definitely not the Final 5.
That you just predicted.
And
we have the oracle, ladies and gentlemen.
All of those guys need a Jedson, a Tyshawn, a Austin, or a Kiefer.
How? When they're the ones who are going to be voting. They're the targets, right?
Because those people are going to win the HOH and be in control of who's
They're
going to
win the HOH and take each
hold
other
on.
out.
This is what week.
They're going to
4?
win HOH and take
Yeah.
each other out.
Okay. So
And then when there's only one of them and that one is puffing their chest like, I got rid of everybody, all the little pawns are going to be sitting there licking their chops going like, okay, it's time to feed. You did our job.
We'll see, man.
I'm breaking it
I
down for
highly-
you,
I-
man.
nah,
I kind of think you're giving Jed and Tyshawn a little bit more credit than they should be getting because at the end of the day, Tyshawn has not won.
There's not won a damn
Jed
thing.
has only won one veto competition. Rohan has won one, as we've seen, and Austin has won one and has close to winning
Absolutely.
a competition herself.
And if
Yeah,
the
but-
comps are like
but-
counting
It's-
rocks
as
like
far
this,
as competition goes right now in week 4, it's kind of on an even playing field.
Yeah.
The only person who has superseded those people is Kiefer.
And Victoria, by the way.
but Loud, you
Victoria.
also got to take into account who was coming in close in some of the competitions.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
Jetson
always.
hasn't really won, but you can see he's performing much better than
Yeah.
Rohan in
He
comps.
almost won
Even
the
though he hasn't won
competition.
anything, he's always close, right? So
Yeah.
Hey, man.
can't forget that.
I'm done predicting. I think that was the worst Final 5. I'll turn the show off, bro. Like, that was the worst Final 5 prediction ever. It has to be mixed up with some winners. It has to be mixed up with a Kiefer, a Jedson, Austin, Victoria.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna be mixed up in there, and I think 2 people at least. Even if that's 3 of
Yeah.
5, I can agree with a 3 of 5. Not no 5 of 5 or whatever. There has to be 2 actual players mixed into it.
Actual players.
And we'll see. But anyway,
we'll see.
It will literally come down to how strong their alliance is as well. Because
That's
alliances help push you through the game, as we've seen with the pretty boys. So
That is true, man. Yeah.
But anyways, we're wrapping this up.
I'm tired of talking.
As the last thing,
You
I'll ask, what are the
tired of talking?
predictions
Tired of talking.
for who's gonna
Full moon
win?
outside.
Oh, who do we want to win the HOH?
Oh, I want Tyshawn or Justin to win.
Yeah,
or Beth.
Tyshawn or Jed or Beth. Any one of the isosceles or equilateral.
Absolutely. I'd say the same,
triangles.
yeah, because I think they're in trouble. So
Yeah.
My energy's low because I'm drinking water and not drinking alcohol.
man, he's lying. He's drinking Henny.
I need more alcohol in my life, bro. What's going on with your fight before we get out of here?
My fight. I'm training hard. Enzo, if you're watching this, man. Oh, man. I'm not even ready to cut a promo. But anyways, you're gonna lose.
Just tell the man he's in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
I was like, I need to beat myself up.
That's not scary, bro.
I need to look intimidating.
Yeah, you just gave up halfway.
I'm just like, Enzo,
You're in trouble.
I'm gonna win.
Supposed to tell him like you want the blood on your hands.
Yeah,
and
tell me just quickly for the people that don't know. Cause I've seen some flyers. What is this about? Is that still on? Okay. What's this about? When is it going down? Where is it going down? What do people need to know?
This summer, possibly in Florida, we're gonna be having BBCAN, Big Brother Canada versus Big Brother US players.
Nice.
All going at it in the ring. 6 rounds of mayhem. Somebody's getting knocked out. It's gonna be. This is a real fight, guys. This is not no Logan Paul, Jake
I was
Paul.
about to ask
This
that.
is gonna be realer than Tyson
Oh,
versus Roy Jones.
is gonna be
I'm
very
telling you, man.
interesting.
Like, we're gonna be going hard, so you guys better get those tickets. Tickets are gonna be dropping soon. This is the fight of the century. I'm telling you, man. Imagine that Big Brother player that you really hate. You think he talks so much, he never shuts up. They might just get knocked out. And I'm not celebrating it, but I'm saying it's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good
Godfrey,
fight.
are you prepared for the fact that you might get knocked out?
Yo, I'm gonna say that wasn't me, yo. That was somebody else.
Remember that what was the
I was in the back.
What was the basketball player?
Nate Robinson?
Nate Robinson.
Nah, man. If I get knocked out, I'm wearing a disguise after that. Like, you guys are not gonna see me.
Nate Robinson
coming back on
ran
the
in.
podcast.
Why do you think I'm
His
growing
chin-
my hair just in case?
got his
That way I
chin
can shave it
punched
off and
off,
say that
bro.
ain't me.
Wow.
Godfrey's bald. He wasn't in the ring.
We'll be rooting for you. Don't
We'll be
worry.
rooting for you. We'll be giving you updates each and every week on this guy's fight.
Yeah,
that has been another
absolutely.
episode of BBCAN Cribz. Once BBCAN Cribz. Why I keep saying Cam Cribz? Is that Cam
I
Cribz?
don't know.
somewhere?
BB Cam.
It must be
Because
the
I'm,
water.
I'm looking at the camera.
You're thinking BB
Triple-
Cam. That's something else.
www.bbcancribs.com. We're on YouTube. This is episode 4. So after you finish watching this one, you can go back and watch 3 more. Follow us on Instagram at BBCAN Cribz. Apparently the bots are on the Twitter doing stuff and they're active on there on the BBCAN Cribz Twitter. And you can follow each of us. I'm pretty sure somewhere in this video I edited something with our Instagram names on it. So follow
All
us.
right.
See? Until next week.
Until next week, take
We out the
Can't-
crib.
Out.
We're out the crib.
You like that? We out the crib. Let's say that from now on. We out
We
the
out
crib.
the crib.
Cut.